Good morning guys and welcome to a coffee video. Good morning friends. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a recent subscriber, welcome, and welcome to my channel. If you've been here for a long time, you're most certainly welcome, and thank you very much for watching. So today we're going to make a cortado, a little bit like this. This one's a little bit older, a little pattern on the top. I know it's more difficult to see because I can't tilt it because I'll spill it, but you can see there at the top here we've got like a finger's depth of microfoam, which is perfectly right, and the rest is mixed in with the ristretto. So cortado comes with the ristretto, which is a 1-to-1 ratio coffee. We're going to make a small adjustment on the grinder, and we're going to steam our milk, and we're going to put this bad boy together. Right, so we're ready to start our cortado, and what we need to do is produce a really lovely ristretto. In order to do that, I've had to make a slight adjustment. See if we can get a reading on there that you can see. A slight adjustment to my grinder. So normally I grind 14 seconds and grind size 4. So I've increased the grind time to 14.4 and I've decreased my grind size down to a 2 to make it really fine, because what we want to do is we want to create 18 grams. So 18 grams of grind, and we want 18 grams of extraction. But we don't want that really rapidly. We want to slow that process down. So the big difference between ristretto and espresso is obviously espresso is 36 grams as a 1-to-2, and although it has the acidity in it, it's really quite sweet as well. At the same time, you get all those flavors coming through, whereas the ristretto is a short, sharp extraction. It's 1-to-1, so it's more acidic, it's more intense of a flavor. If you made the two and you tried them, you would notice a huge difference in flavor. But once you start adding milk to it, and then you start adding milk foam to the top and maybe a little bit of latte art, then you get this fantastic really high impact coffee, which is like a miniature flat white. It's fantastic. So first thing I'm going to do is not break everything, is put my group handle on the scale. I'm going to zero it down, and then I'm going to grind hopefully 18 grams, maybe slightly over, and that's fine too. So the basket's going to look really full, but that's okay because we don't mind the basket being full. With time we compact that down, it's going to be absolutely fine. So that is a little bit under, so 16.8. So I'm going to make a slight adjustment. I'm going to increase my grind time, and we're going to try again. Okay, so I've increased the grind time by 0.2 seconds, so we're on 14.6. We may need 14.8, but I won't know yet. Let's give it a go and see what happens. Okay, let's get that on the scales. Okay, 17.6. That's as near as we're going to get it. If we increase the grind time a little bit more, then we're going to probably be slightly over. But I'm happy with 17.6. I'm happy with 18 grams out as still being within kind of the parameters of a ristretto. Okay, we're going to need that in a moment. But first, I'm just going to pop this on the top so that I don't spill any coffee anywhere. I'm going to level. I'm just going to grab a fork. Obviously, with the tighter the grind, the finer the grind, the more chance you've got a little bit of clumping. And what we want is a nice even extraction. We want some nice even pressure. So that's why I'm doing this, just breaking up those and leveling. Perfect. I give it a knock to level. I'll see if you can see that. There we go. And then I'm going to tamp. So what I'm doing is I'm keeping the grip handle on a hard surface. I'm putting the tamper down and I'm giving it a really good hard tamp. So The tamp that I do is the same every time. It's consistent, and it's got to be completely flat. And then I just do a little spin just for the little pieces on the top. Take this off, and then I wipe. And the reason that I'm wiping is that I'm getting rid of any of the coffee that's going to end up being pushed up inside the machine. Okay, machine's on standby, let's get it going. And you could tell then that what was really easy was, even though some people say 18 grams is too much for a Sage machine, actually 18 grams is perfect for a Sage machine. And when I put that group handle on, there was no grinding or binding against the group head. It was really easy, it was really smooth, and that's what we're looking for. So I'm going to use this glass, and this is really to show you what's going on with the coffee in terms of the head of the foam, how much espresso or ristretto is going in. Okay, so program function, I use this every time. I'm also going to pop my scales back down to 0. I'm going to keep an eye on the pressure to make sure it's even. We're going to drop 18 grams, ideally 24 seconds. Ideally, if you're new to this, then don't worry about the seconds. Just worry about getting a great ristretto within the parameters of a 1-to-1. Let's go for it. Program function and then double shot. And when I talk about timing, I'm talking about the moment that the coffee comes out of the machine. But for now, I'm just looking, and I know that as we get towards 18, I'm going to knock it off because there's still coffee inside that puck. Okay, so we actually managed to hit 20 grams, which is slightly outside what we were looking for. However, if you look at that ristretto, that's beautiful. Wait for the camera to catch back up with me. There we go. So if I tilt it, you'll be able to see. There you go. Absolutely. Give it a little bit of a mix round there. A lovely ristretto, ready for milk steaming. Okay, so we're going to jump on to milk steaming next. I'm just going to knock the steam arm on while we get ready. I'm going to fill the jug. We only need a tiny bit of milk, and the minimum setting on here is 150, so we're going to go with that. I'm using whole milk, because whole milk is really easy to steam. And then hopefully I'll be able to show you a few tricks on how to get a little bit of a pattern on top without too much difficulty. Nice lot of steam coming out of the machine, that's exactly what we need. I'm going to pop my jug under, and I'm going to just angle the jug so that the steam arm is just inside, and I've just put the tip of the steam arm inside the top of the milk. And you can hear those paper tearing sounds. So that's the sound of the microfoam developing. So I'm going to steam to about 110. And when I knock off the steam, then we're going to reach temperatures of just over 120. You may think that's a little bit cool for you, but it's really good for latte art. You can always, once you've mastered the art, you can always start to increase your temperatures, because then you'll have an awareness of how temperature affects the microphone. And also the flavour of the milk. There we go. There we go. We'll knock it off. What I'm not going to do is remove the milk straight away, because there was still some steam in the steam arm. And when when we look at that, we can see that really beautiful milk. So you'll see that there's no bubbles, or very little bubbles around the outside, and also there's a nice glossy top. And as we're resting that now, the micro bubbles are coming up to the surface. So one important thing not to miss is wiping the steam arm and purging. Must do this. What I'm doing there is I'm just basically cleaning the steam arm before any of the milk settles. I'm also going to knock out the top of the milk that I've steamed so that it's easier to get the microphone. Okay, so I'm just going to move the camera slightly. Here we go. I'm going to angle down a little bit more. Thank you. So I have the coffee, I have the ristretto. I'm going to spin it a little bit. I've got the milk. I'm going to spin that a little bit, and then I'm going to bring the milk. I've created myself some big bubbles, which I didn't need. Here we go. As I spin round, you start to see the marbling on the top, which is perfect. And then we're going to put a little pattern. There we go. Really, really easy to do. Really simple. Really nice little pattern on top of a really little high impact drink. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you've not subscribed, I'd really love you to subscribe. It helps me to keep growing the channel, and it really, really pushes me forward to make more coffee videos to show you exactly how to make amazing coffee at home. I'm going to give this one a try. Oh, that's really, really nice. So what you get is that real impact from the ristretto, which is so much different to the espresso. So cortado, a little bit like a miniature version of a flat white. You're getting the same coffee, but then obviously your coffee to milk ratio is a lot less. So you're getting a lot less ounces of milk. So you get that real impact, that real high impact, that boom, that coffee. You get the flavor, you get the feeling. It is actually my go-to coffee every morning. So every morning before I start whatever I'm doing, I will sit down and have a cortado. And it's a really great way to start the day. In my opinion, everybody else's opinion is different, obviously. Yeah, this is a great tasting coffee, it's a great looking coffee, and it's a really easy coffee to start putting a little bit of latte art on the top to show your little bit of flair for coffee making. And if I was starting out from the beginning, I would definitely, as I said in the video, low temperature, whole, full fat milk. And that really gives you the feeling of being able to learn to steam milk and then start to introduce things like alternative milks or lower fat milk, right down to, you know, skim milk. And you'll get an idea by starting with the full fat. You'll get an idea of how you should steam and what to look out for and what sounds you're looking out for and what look and feel of the milk you're looking out for. And when you've done all those things, you'll be an absolute pro. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time, guys.